Hello, this is Sherman Blackwell. Welcome to this week's program presented by Singing River Mental Health. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the kind comments we hear about the program and our meager attempt to let the community know about services that are available through Singing River and have been available for 35 years now. Of course, programs have grown into some 33 different programs that we have now, but that is the main reason we bring this program to you, because we believe that a community that is informed of the resources available is a healthy community, and we are delighted to be able to do this, and we certainly are appreciative of our staff and individuals that we serve at Singing River. And today is, of course, as we do, we profile different individuals that we have in our staff. And today, no stranger to this program, is our now program director, Wanda Bell. Wanda, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dr. Blackwell. Appreciate it.
Good to have you here. Wanda, you now, and for some weeks and months now, been the program director. We've changed up some things, our flow chart, if you will, and you become program director. Basically, now, what is your portfolio as the program director to help educate our?
Well, basically, I'm over all the programs that we have, in the sense of that they provide all the services that the community needs, and that we do it according to the standards and that the State Department of Mental Health sets forth, and that we open programs and close programs according to what the needs of the community. We're constantly assessing the community to see what needs they have.
Right, and we have been fortunate, with a lot of things that are going on in the public-private sector with the economy, that we haven't had any attrition with our programs so far. And of course, as you mentioned, you have the oversight, and funding is an important part of that.
Yes, sir.
Because as the public knows that we work off of a sliding fee scale, and we try to get as much grant funding as we can, and of course Medicaid is the primary payer source for what we do, as it is for all of the 15 community mental health centers across the state of Mississippi. But keeping that on task is not always an easy job, and monitoring that, and of course we're audited. We certainly welcome that by the Department of Mental Health, Medicaid, grant audits. We certainly appreciate that very, very much. And so you've got your job's kind of expanded. I know you work in a lot of other areas too, and have worked in areas, and you just do an excellent job. And before we get back to Wanda, I'd like to take this time to talk about a couple of upcoming events that we have. One is April the 13th. We have been asked to host the commissioners meeting, mental health commissioners meeting, for the state of Mississippi. That's April 13th, and that's going to be here in Jackson County. And what basically that is, there are 82 counties, and each county in the state of Mississippi has a mental health commissioner. And the commissioners gather together and meet among themselves and with center directors such as myself, and we talk about programs, challenges, and things that are going on in the state of Mississippi, particularly, and that involves funding and changes in programs and requirements and those kinds of things. And so from time to time, of course, we have people from the legislature there, and people that come in and talk about different programs. And that's going to be April the 13th here. We're going to have it hosted at the LaFont, and that's going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning. That is a Monday, and we're going to have be allowed, Wanda, to do a presentation where we've been, where we've come from Katrina, where we are now, and with all of the issues and challenges that we have. And so we're looking forward to that. Also, on May 14th, almost a month, a little more than a month later, we'll be hosting our annual symposium, mental health symposium. May, of course, is Mental Health Month, and this will be the second year that we've had it since Katrina. And prior to Katrina, we were on a roll doing that. I mean, it had grown to hundreds of people attending it, so much so we had to move out of the Gaucher Convention Center where we're hosting it this year and over like to Pelican Landing. And we basically showcase our programs. We also invite other connected type of services into to have a booth. We have a keynote speaker, and we're going to serve a light lunch, and that is going to be May 14th, which is a Thursday this year, right there in the middle of Mental Health Month. And we're going to have a light lunch, and we're going to have special topics that normally runs from around 10 to 1 or 2, and we would love for you to mark your calendar on that so that you can come by and be a part of that. One other little house cleaning issue, if you will, till recently we had learned that through no fault of our own, that Singing River Mental Health had been given an additional number in the phone book. Now, the number you see on the screen there is our 24-hour-a-day crisis line and our mainline number. But we had gotten some complaints that people were calling and that they weren't getting, nobody was answering. And we, of course, followed up on that with the phone company and found that they had put a number that didn't even belong to us in the phone book, and now that has been corrected. That has been rerouted to our mainline number. So if that's ever caused any inconvenience through no fault of our own, we certainly wanted to clear that up. So that's all taken care of now. And but if you had an issue with that, we certainly apologize, but we wanted you to know that that was no fault of our own. Last week, I talked a little bit about some brochures and the different program things that we were be glad to share with you and put in your hands. One thing, Wanda, I know that you, in all of your portfolio, and even your office is still now, even though you're the program director, is housed in the children's facility. And we've hired some new folks to come in there and tell us what's happening with our children's program and what kind of things you're looking to beef up and to do.
We're always excited about our children's programs. As Dr. Blackwell has told you many times on this show, we have 33 different programs. We're one of the very few in the state that provides a comprehensive plan for all the different programs. Well, our children, children are our future, and so we're certainly want to do the very best by them that we can. We have hired, we now have on staff 11 case managers just for the children, and 3 more in the hiring process. We have 10 children's therapists who are in the schools. They go to the schools every day, do individual therapy with children that's needed. Plus, they open up cases of new children that also need our services. We've been extremely lucky. We have 2 days a week that we have a psychiatrist that's at our program, and that way children can be seen more often, and they can certainly, we encourage that so that we can adjust the medication if they need medication, so that it works for the family and it works for the school, because that's usually where the problems are manifested. We are excited, of course. I think I've been on here, seems like 100 years telling y'all this, but day treatment, summer day treatment will start, I think it's the first Monday after Memorial Day. I'll be more specific with the dates as we get closer. Actually, it depends on the feeding programs of our partner agencies, so I'm not sure exactly what those are yet. But if your child has behavioral issues, if your child has issues that have caused them to be an ISI or have caused them to almost be suspended from school, it's very important that you get in touch with us and get a case open, so that we have an 8-week program in the summer. It's every day from 9 to 2, and we teach conflict resolution, anger management, those type of skills that will keep your children in the classroom as opposed to not being able to do that. So we are very pleased to announce that we're going to do that again this year. And we provide transportation, breakfast, and lunch as well, Dr. Black.
That is excellent. That's an excellent program, and it certainly, as you mentioned, Wanda, children are our future, and we certainly want to intervene. There's so much that's going on, so much that's available in the negative for so many of our children in our community, that it's important that they learn coping skills, good judgment skills along with that, and particularly if you're dealing with a population that has some vulnerability due to an issue with mental health or mental illness and those kinds of things. So that's very, very important. My guest today is Wanda Bell. She is the program director for Singing River Services and has been in that capacity now for some months. And Wanda's here, and on the second half of the program we're going to talk a little more about some other available things that we offer to the community, some things that are free, like the parenting class or group, and we're going to talk about some more about, it's a wonderful thing that, you know, we have now a doctor available 2 days a week for our children to help move that up a little bit. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk a little more about the day treatment program and other programs that we have available. But the number you see on the screen is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That number's available for information, for inquiries, and we'll be glad to, if you'd like for some information to be sent to you regarding one of these programs, we'll be glad to put that in the mail to you and get that out to you just as fast as we can. This is Sherman Blackwell, and Wanda Bell's here with me today, and we're going to come back and talk more about the programs at Singing River right after these messages. Hello, I'm Sherman Blackwell, and welcome back to this week's program presented by Singing River Services. Thank you for joining us today. My guest is Wanda Bell. Wanda and I have been talking a little bit about the children's program that we have at MacArthur Street. And of course, we talked a little bit about our summer day treatment program. You know, Wanda, will turn around. Today at this filming is March 2nd. This will air March 3rd. How long will school be in? Do we have proximity when that gets out?
They get out sometime in May before Memorial Day. I think it's 23rd, 24th, somewhere in there.
Right. And so it'll be here before you know it. And as we mentioned at the top of the program, Wanda's responsibility transcends the children's program, and that is as a person who is responsible for making sure that our grants and our programs are in regulations with the Department of Mental Health, with Medicaid, and with any other funding source that we have. So that's and also to look and see what's on the horizon. I'm always been a believer, and as have you, wanted, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We look for programs where they may have successfully done in other parts of the country and where they've got good data, and especially when we target our children's program specifically. And I know you said earlier you're excited about the new people coming on board, and I saw some of them this morning. And of course, we appreciate the staff that we have. The staff Working in community mental health in the state of Mississippi is not the best paying job in the world. We are thankful that we do have a good benefit package and program, and that many people do this. Many, and we in the interview process we talk to them about because they care about individuals that they serve, and they go into this field and they look into it to help people, sometimes because they have issues close to themselves, something in their family, or just a good altruistic person. And you know, we've said often on this program, there are a lot of other good agencies in Jackson County and in George County, our catchment area, that work and do good, and we want to join together. We certainly know that we're not the only duck on the pond, but we want to be responsible and professional and transparent about the things that we do with community mental health in our catchment area in Jackson County. The doctor, I know that Dr. Barnes now, because we've been able to, Dr. Hassel now is in our George County office. Dr. Davis is also in our central office for adults. We now have Julie Trice. Julie goes to Loosedale and is in our central office. She is a nurse practitioner, but our medical director, Dr. Barnes, who has been on this program, now is at children's program when?
He is there on Mondays and Thursdays. Most of the time he does med evaluation checks on Mondays, and he does psych evals so that we will know, more about the children and their need for what services they do need. And we are so thankful for that, because that gives us the opportunity. Parents can really look ahead and figure out when they can come with their children. It's so important that parents be there with their children, because sometimes the parents, they're not having trouble with their child, but the school's having a tremendous problem, or vice versa. Sometimes the school has a lot of, doesn't have any problems, and there's a lot of problems at home. And if you're taking medication, that makes a difference. I mean, when the doctors tell you have to take medication at a certain time, they usually tell you that for a reason. And it's no different than with children with mental health issues. And then that way, if we know what the issues are, and Dr. Barnes, and we have a little behavioral checklist that we get parents and teachers to fill out quite a bit, because it lets Dr. Barnes know whether the children need their medication taken at different times, adjusted accordingly, and that really helps the schools and the parents to be able to. And we're so thankful for the schools. We've partnered with them for many, many years now, ever since I've been here for sure, and they are truly so helpful. And if it was not, they don't have to let us in to handle mental health problems, but they do. They let us in their schools because they know that we are a help to them, and that is such a blessing. And I just want to say that publicly, that we are so thankful for the 4 school districts in Jackson County and the 1 school district in George County, which works with us without any problems.
Yeah. It's always, every teacher that I know is interested in educating, and so it's hard to educate a student when they have particular behavioral issues, and so some
Absolutely.
modification has to take place, because educators want to teach, and so that's why I think there's such a good relationship, and we certainly do appreciate them very much. Wanda, we don't only just work off of, we get referrals, but we just walk-ins. People can just come, and I know the number that's on the screen there, but let's give them our children's number, direct line, so if any of them have any inquiries or something, they can call you.
Our children's number is 696-0030. And we certainly want you to call. And I wanted to also mention one thing, Dr. Blackwell, I have not, that we're certainly proud. We have a young lady, Puerto Rican, who speaks Spanish. And our Hispanic population has been underserved because we did not have the appropriate personnel, and we will admit to that. We just didn't. And now that we do, if you're Latino, please get in touch with us and you have issues with your children. Sometimes it's no more than just adjusting.
Right.
And so if you would, please make sure, because this young lady is absolutely wonderful, and she not only will go with you, but she will also talk with the doctor in the meetings with you if you are not fluent in English. And so we are certainly pleased to have her, and we want the Spanish-speaking population to know that we are there to serve them.
That's a very good point. That's an ever-increasing population.
Absolutely.
Not only here, but everywhere. And so that's real critical that if we're not about communication, we're not about much at all then. So that's the very important thing. Let me remind you, April 13th, we are going to be hosting the commissioners meeting for the state of Mississippi, mental health commissioners. This is every county has a mental health commissioner, and we've been asked to host that April 13th, which is a Monday here in Jackson County. So you'll have a lot of people in from across the state, along with Department of Mental Health people, along with directors, community mental health center directors, and discussing issues that are relevant to Mississippi, and working with the legislature about key issues regarding mental health issues, and that's so very, very critically important. It's a wonderful thing when you don't need funding and you have the resources. If your child has an issue, that it doesn't matter. But so many people, and particularly across our state, are not financially able to supply the needs. And you mentioned a while ago, Wanda, you talked about medication available. I know our doctors are very, 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 very careful about medication as far as when you're talking about children, and really kind of not resistant to it, but are very careful and make that a kind of a last thing. They're good medications for them, but I've heard Dr. Barnes say, but we try to work with case managers, with therapists, with day treatment specialists, and then working with the physicians, with the nurse. We also have Sue Katz, who is our RN. She is a nurse, and then the nurse practitioner, Julie Trice, comes on board there. Also, let me remind you of May the 14th. May the 14th is going to be, it's a Thursday. I know it seems like that's a long way away, but it'll turn around, it'll be here. We're going to have our mental health symposium. We'd like for you to mark your calendar there, where we display our programs, the things that we're doing. We work with ancillary groups is also, and try to connect in the community regarding services and getting people connected about services and resources that they can use. Larry Swearingen is going to be our keynote speaker this year. That time is going to be from 10 till about 2 in the afternoon. It's going to be held again this year at the Gaucher Convention Center. That's right next, of course, to the public library, right there, directly behind our office, kind of right there, Wanda, behind us. And we want you to mark those dates down, and also want to give you the number again at our children's services. Even though Wanda's now acting as our program director, that number there is 696-0030. And if you'd like to talk with Miss Bell, if you'd like to get further information, I know one thing we didn't get to talk about today, and that's our parenting group. When you talked about that, that's free to the public.
Yes, sir.
And it's 8 weeks or so.
10 weeks.
10-week program, and you don't have to wait 10 weeks to get started. It's set up
at any time, yes.
in time. Okay, so that's a we're excited about that. And other programs that are available. Wanda, you have anything in closing remarks? We got a minute left.
No, which is we want you to know, or the community to know, that we are here for you. That's what we do. That's what we're happy doing. Dr. Blackwell said it before. Our staff is committed to the children of this county because they're the future of what we have built, and we want them to get the required services they need, and we know that we can provide those in a professional manner. So we certainly appreciate it. If you need me, all you have to do is call 696-0030. Ask for me. If by some chance I'm not there, because I do go to different places looking at our programs, leave a message and I will call you back.
Thank you, Wanda. Appreciate that so very much. Good to have you on the program. Remember, the number that you see on the screen there also is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is Sherman Blackwell. Thanks for joining us today, and hope you have a very good week.